Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. We got some incense dropped down in the pipe there. We tried having it down the stove, but it was trying to come out around the door. We've got that closed off because we don't need it on. So was doing a little bit of smoke testing, but there's a progress on it so far. If you've been watching the videos, I gotta make the door latch up. You see the elbow back there? Okay, let's play with our new rotary tool. Okay, new tool. It says it's 18 volts, 18 watts, but I don't know what that means. It says no low speed, 14,000. Well, I'm sure on what I read description, it's 7,000 to 14,000, not 1,400. And look at the collet size. You use a 3mm or 3.2, which is 1/8 of an inch. So that's important to have that, because a lot of the stuff you get for Dremel is 1/8 of an inch. You know, the Dremel's become a generic name, but this is kind of how it was boxed. I've had it out and played with it. And we'll look at the little kit. Here's sort of like your wall cube, only I like it better. I just run a drop cord. I don't even take that out, because this is like about 4 feet of cord. So I got a drop cord I can plug, so I didn't have to even unwire that. So we'll set that off there. Of course, it splits in the middle, so you probably could run this on a battery pack. Don't recommend modifying tools you burned up, it's your own fault. But I'm smart enough I can figure out what's hot and what's ground. So you could actually get one of these ends and run this on a battery pack. So you could make it somewhat cordless. Okay, we'll get to the instructions there. This has about 1,700 reviews. This was what, 24 bucks shipped to me, so I can't tell you what the cost was without the shipping. On and off, which I really like. You can go, once it's on, you can just go like this. You can be using it like this, one hand, and if you're trying to do something, you can actually shuffle up here and adjust this. That was a selling point. And of course, you got your little thing you press when you're locking it down. Stay in frame. Sunday in the shop, but still. I mean, it's cheap, but it polishes really well. I needed something small besides that big thing to polish. If I was going to keep polishing, man, I don't need it. It's one of them tools. It's a luxury item, but let's set that aside here. And let me pause and see what I'm looking for in the instruction manual. Oh, I'm looking for the RPM. Okay, I know what I told you I was probably right. 7,000 to 14,000. Can you see that on there? Technical characteristics. 3.2, 8th inch, big as it can go in. And that's about it. I mean, this is all safety stuff. I mean, there's finally at the end is how to polish, replacing the collet. We all know how to do that. So it's a lot of blah 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 that if you use the rotary tools you don't need. But I always read instructions. You don't know what's in it. Okay, let's see what's in the accessory kit, because I really do not know. But it is a nice little box. I mean, you could have a worse packaging than that. I mean, you can put it away. If you don't use it all the time, you can put it all right back in the box. That's why they gave you a decent box. Okay, let's pause. We want to dump this stuff out, because I want to know what's in here too. Let's try this with the record button on. So, should I delete my rant or repeat it? I'll repeat my rant. You can tell it's big. Somebody's got some junky garden till or something running, the governor needs adjusted, so it's But I got even the other day I started my truck. glass pack single exhaust, and I'll punch it when it's warmed up, like the 4-barrel kick in, because it'll load up so bad with the big carburetor that I don't want the plugs to foul. Just an excuse to romp on it. Get 6 collets. This is your 3mm because I have the 8-inch one in here. Kind of impressed what you get because I have the HF little rotary tool I use on a Variac. I plugged a wall wart cube into it. Everything's magnetic. And stones like this will last you if you're not carried away. I use one of these to grind on my weld on my little stove project. Arbor for cutting disc or that saw blade. There's 3 little micro drill bits for crafting. They at least give you 2 diamond bits. These are almost worthless to me. Here's one I polished with, alright? And I got a fluffy one that bolts on an arbor. And these are better than the cone ones. Them bullet-shaped ones are really hard packed, tight, whatever they are. Well, they're really so tight that they just don't work as good as these. These hold more polish. And I have some of these sanding drums. But at least they give you 3 of them to start out. So at least they give you a starter kit when you buy it. If you don't have a rotary tool and you're going to do some small hobby crafting, jewelry, whatever, in a nice little box to put it in to start out with. And plenty of room to add more. I've had these before and I would not recommend cutting anything with plastic at slow speed. High speed will burn it. Just go slow, take your time, and do not try to cut wood. The bits, we will not try to measure them. I'll get you up close, get my big fingers out of the way. So you can guess how many. I'd say the smallest one's probably 1mm. I wouldn't say the biggest one's 3mm. Of course, we don't know. Yeah, I got so frustrated that I forgot to hit record, but I can deal with it. It's like a tractor. Neighbor's got a tractor that does that. It's probably fixable. But it doesn't do a machine any good to do that. People, if you got a problem like that, don't keep running. Because you're probably flooded it full of fuel. And all you're doing is dump a bunch of gasoline. You're going to ruin a nice little small engine. Get it fixed. I mean, if it comes out when you rev it up, well, then don't worry about it. When you start tilling whatever, don't worry so much about it for a while. There. Should we polish up with some flits? Something relaxing. We'll put all that back. I just wanted you to see everything that comes with it. I don't get paid to do any of this. I just figure somebody might see this and want one. I can't recommend it yet, but still I would gamble on it. I did. Well, like I said, what was it? It's $5 is the shipping, so it was like a $19 tool. I mean, I had it in like 2 days for the time they shipped it because there was a warehouse in the center of my state, so I get lucky. I get stuff maybe 2 days from the time they ship it because they got a new Amazon warehouse down in Des Moines. Actually, I looked it up. There's 2 of them in the same neighborhood. So that's a good thing there. They're starting to get, because usually it comes out of Illinois, a lot of stuff does. I think it's Hodgkins. Somebody look it up. I totally just destroyed some little town's name. Anyway, I'm glad this is Sunday in the shop. I'm looking at the timer. You're all probably tired of my video already, but now we'll come back. Let's play with some flits. Okay, we're on record. This is cramped trying to get a tripod here. That's why I've not been using a tripod much. Let's play with the speed real quick here. Let's turn it on. We'll get up closer so you can hear how loud it is. About 3 inches from the camera. It doesn't vibrate. It'll vibrate a little bit here. Let me lay it on the table. It's a little shaky. A lot of it's what you have on the front here. This brush is not balanced. Okay. I usually have something I put a little flits on, but I just like loading up the roller Or what do you want to, it's like a paint roller. It's gonna get messy because I got way too much. Okay. I start out real slow, okay? I don't have no gloves. I need to grab some. I have some, I just did not bring any out to the shop. If you run on slow speed, don't be stopping stuff. Things has brushes or little circuit boards, you'll burn something up. Don't sit there on slow speed and stall it. But I like to get the polish on the thing first. You know, get it all even. Yes, it's flying. I don't want it in my face. I don't have no goggles on. You don't want this stuff in your eye. The only reason I don't have goggles on is because I am filming and I have my glasses off because I can see better without my bifocals. I'm probably about a foot away with my face. This is what I like doing. See how it's all coated? And you could mask it off where the wood is. And y'all seen how dull it looked. It's a tool that gets used. This is homemade, my homemade Pokey tool. And y'all know where I got the shell casing. Do you remember? This is a fight. You tell me what that is. I forget what, I'm not a gun know-it-all, but I forget most of what I know. Believe me, I used to know a lot. I could tell you what caliber it was by looking at it. I haven't shot a whole lot of different high-power stuff, but you know the basics. Every shotgun ever made. 22s, to me, was like a BB gun. Me and my brother, we had a city dump out in the country where you could go out and shoot a 22 all day long, so you wouldn't get in trouble either. Don't go into a hunting area with a rifle and target practice. You get a ticket, we go to the city dump, just so you know. They banned that and got a county landfill. Okay, see how it's all coated? Now let's up the speed. Let's see if I can do this without two hands. So I imagine this in my mind. That's the whistle. I think it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is Friday. And don't be afraid to polish with just the edge. See the edge? Because like I said, I don't like them cone shaped ones. And what I'd recommend is, your polish is going to spit that way. So don't splatter yourself in the face. Get it on something solid to hold on to it. I've only polished one thing just a little bit, so this is almost actually a first for us. It don't hurt to get a little polish back on the back of your little thing. The black means it's doing its job. Okay, let's go a little bit faster. Let's go full speed once. Yeah, full speed, that's it. So don't go like this and go. Don't bear down on the motor. You're just going to overheat it. See how it starts taking the polish back off? No, I've got a buffer one, you know, that fluffy one you got to bolt on. It's the real fluffy. But a lot of times you don't need it. These soak up a lot. I said, I do not like them other ones, if you know what I mean. It's bullet shaped. They're real hard packed. I had one I showed you had brass on it. I had it in the big one and I was just burning through the brass. We ain't too worried about getting out of the wood because it's a tool. I'll show you what happens. You don't want to really get out. See that? Now I got this dirty old goop in the wood. That's its tool. Well, at least I showed you what not to do right. Because you can't lay it flat all the time. You might have a 6-inch brass rod. You're gonna have to till it. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid using this. It'll slowly get a taper. Can you see what's slowly getting a taper? We're going to make a taper one out of this. We get all this extra here. You may get something that's gooey. That could have been some glue that was on there. Have a little hard time here. A little back where it's dry and try to scrub it off. There. A little back where it's a clean wheel and try to get it off there. We're going to do the whole thing on camera. It's Sunday in the shop. We can get away with this. My coffee ain't kicked in yet. 20-some ounce mug. They should not eat the 2 glazed donuts. Well, sugar donuts are not glazed. We won't say what big chain store bakery. Nothing special. Some doughy old donuts, not cake donuts. I like cake donuts. I like donuts that are fried in a fryer. As a kid, we'd make them. The neighbor lady had the thing where it plopped the batter in there, so it had the hole in it, you know, it goes bloop. And man, that was fun. My mom would board up. We had the big Presto deep fryer. They were little, if you ever find one in the, it was a big, giant size. A big fryer. The one you can fry chicken or something in. See that bad spot? Right in here? I don't know what's on there. Let's see if it'll come out. I mean, you can bear down a little bit. Just don't kill the motor. Oh, like I said, go at an angle like this. Like when you're sanding something round. Otherwise, you're going to put a flat spot in there. Well, let's just say that won't come out right now. That is some kind of gouge or something. Remember I told you when you're cut with them cutter wheels, it'll grab, go like that? Oh, it scared you. It'll pull that right out of your hand. You're careful when you're cutting around stuff, especially with or anything with your dremel. I got them big 1.5-inch cut-off blades. It'll rip around. That's why I make a groove all the way around. So the groove, when I cut a pipe, it looks just like that groove right here. And it can still snag. That's good enough for this demonstration. What's the tool feel like? Let's shut it off. Slightly warm. I mean, it's a little bit, that feels cool plastic, and it's not cold in here. It's just slightly warm. Just slightly warm. So that's a good sign. Like I said, I cut up my Flitz rag and then dropped it on the floor. That's a no-no. At least I showed you where not to get it on the wood. I don't know if it'll come out. A little bit of cleaner or something. Get that smudgy old nasty. It's still in there. And something caked on. I just scraped off my thumbnail. It just needed clean better. Like I said, clean stuff before you polish. I just grabbed this out of the junk. Buff the direction. I mean, you can go this way on something to buff of it. You should buff the general direction that you... What do you think? Let's turn it around. Not bad, huh? Oh, we forgot to wipe the polish off on the end. Silly me. Nice casing. What did we say it was? A 500 Smith & Wesson 500? I'm going to have to look it up. 500 mag, USA. Here, you read it. Smith & Wesson 500. AUSA. You tell me what AUSA means. Somebody will. I know they will. What do you think? And this wood piece was made with just a belt sander, no lathe. I laid the wooden dowel to fit in there. I pounded it in the case. It's not easy to drill a hole. Hole's only about an inch. This is copper-coated welding rod, so it is not tungsten steel scribe. Because I knew it couldn't be a real good scribe. It's just a Pokey tool. There you go. Let's find some. Ooh, look at that blend. Ooh. I said I don't get paid. I like sharing products I like. Yeah, that's the best thing for me to do. Cut your, you don't have to, but if I cut this up in little bitty rags, imagine dropping a whole rag on the floor, getting it full of dirt in the shop. You can make 2 out of this. I just cut a little piece off. One I already got destroyed. I use it for whatever grease rag one day in emergency. Okay, let's go on to something else. This is 12 minutes of just polishing. So we're not going to have a too long video. We'll bring you back with something before we close the video. Okay, we're going to leave you cutting a pipe for my stove. See, I got the tape line. See how I go around and make a groove first? Excuse me. Had to clear my throat. I need a drink of coffee. So I made a groove first, so this thing don't fly apart. And then slowly start cutting little by little. Don't just jab in there and go for it. It's going to catch. Oh, little tip here. My blade keeps coming loose. I lost the little red washer. I need to replace it. Believe me, without that, you'll start spinning on you. And you'll take the screw up so far you'll break it. Okay. Let's get this done and we're almost done with this video. Okay, we'll leave you with our little 6-inch pipe we made. We had to do this way so it goes inside, but that's like 3-inch. It's about an 8-inch pipe total. But that's all you need. You can always change it, but we don't have a whole lot of this left, so we don't want to waste too much. And that does go all the way down here. So make sure you shampoo your edges so you don't get cut. I use like a drum sander. Don't be using the side of your cutter desk too much to try to do that. But drum sander, roll around, you'll get it even. Took the paint off this part. There you go. Thanks for watching.